Thank you, Tasvia, for inviting early careers to present this information session. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If you have your phones on, if you could just put it on mute for now. There are toilets at the back of the room. We have photos that will be taken today. So if you don't want any photos of yourself being taken, make sure you let Tasvia know. Also, if there is an emergency, we've all got to follow Tasvia. Okay? Right. All right, so I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land that we are. Yeah. I would like to begin by acknowledging the Larrakia people, the traditional custodians of the land upon which we meet today, and pay my respects to the elders and extend that respect to their descendants past, present and emerging. So the Early Careers team supports a number of government initiatives. These programs include the Traineeship Program, the Aboriginal Employment Program, the Work Experience Program, the Vacation Employment Program, and the Graduate Development Program. The early career programs are designed to offer participants a combined on-the-job work experience and studies. They provide participants with short or long-term NT-government career pathways. They create a pipeline of fresh talent across many professional streams. And today we will be providing an information session around the Graduate Development Program. So the Graduate Development Program is a 12 or 24 months full-time paid employment program for university graduates. In this program, you'll be connected with an agency where you can apply your skills and work in an area related to your field of studies. You will have the opportunity to rotate through different business units within the agency, allowing you to gain exposure to a variety of work and continue developing skills. Early careers will run development sessions throughout the year, which you will have the opportunity to attend. In 2020, this year, some of those sessions, they include orientation and workplace inductions, Northern Territory Government Essential Training Package, the Grade X series, and Graduate Seminar series. So here's a list of our program benefits. So with the 12 to 24 months paid employment, graduates will have the real world work, challenges and projects. They will gain mentoring and support from experts. They will have structured training in place to support your professional growth, the establishment of professional network. You get to apply your knowledge and the skills and further develop them, and consistent reporting to understand your growth, your capability assessment, and that'll be done through bi-monthly reports. You'll gain access to the Northern Territory Government benefits. This includes up to 6 weeks leave, 2 weeks sick leave, and flexible work arrangements. The areas of employment. The Northern Territory public sector recruit from almost all fields of studies. These include business, such as workplace skills, business, project management, human resources, international development studies, governance and policy, law, policy, international politics. Under the community services, we have community services, social work, psychology, humanitarian aid and development. In the health sector, we have like allied health, oral health, pharmacy, pathology, nursing, clinical, non-clinical. Under the education degree, we have education and classroom support, early years and secondary teaching, library and information services. Under the information communication technology, we have data analysis, software and infrastructure support, cybersecurity and emerging technologies, computer engineering. Under engineering, we've got civil, electrical and industrial, telecommunications engineering. Under the marketing and communications umbrella, we have communications, digital media, and event planning. In the finance area, we have accounting, bookkeeping, data analysis, economics, commerce, international trade. And finally, under the science and environment umbrella, we have geospatial, I can't say that word, yet geospatial, biological and lab technician, sports science, aquaculture, agriculture, horticulture, and land management. In the room here, if I've said your degree, can you please pop your hand up? No, I haven't said a qualification that I've listed under that umbrella yet. Anyone here doing accounting? Yes, so I've mentioned accounting, that's good. A lot of you. Anyone here doing the law degree? Yeah, finance? Yes, finance. Let me see, what about business? Business, yes, yes, very good. Let me throw another one out there. ICT. Yeah, very good. Okay, I think we've captured everybody in the room, so that's really good to hear. So for your eligibility, to be eligible for the graduate development program, you must meet the following criteria. You must have completed a degree at a recognised Australian university or institute within the last 3 years to graduate prior to the program's commencement. Oh, sorry, in the last 3 years or due to graduate prior to the program's commencement. So there's 2 requirements there. And then you must be an Australian citizen, a permanent resident, or hold a visa with appropriate working rights. Okay, who here has a visa? Yeah. Okay, you might have some questions for me later on about visas. If you do, just come and see me and I'll be able to talk to you. Okay, application requirements. You will need a resume, a current resume. You'll need a 1-page cover letter, so the reason why you're applying for the role. You'll need 2 current referees from an Australian organisation or business. Your most recent university results and a copy of your degree if you have already graduated. Your for visa holders, you need proof of a valid visa with appropriate working rights and visa entitlements. Some verification online systems like Vivo checks. So special measures. So do we have any Aboriginal applicants or Aboriginal students in the room? No? If we do, special measures applies to the Aboriginal applicants, and they must provide a statutory declaration and confirmation of Aboriginality, and that must be provided within 3 months of employment. Okay, with the applications. So here we've got a list of tips, but I'll go through it a little bit thorough for you. So make sure you have all your supporting documents ready to go. So ensure you upload all required documents. This reduces your chance of being assessed as ineligible. That means where you don't meet the criteria to apply for the role. For example, the graduate program can receive well over 500 applications. So you will be deemed not eligible if you have not supplied all those documents that I've mentioned previously. So the team will email you only once to let you know what is missing, and you will have a strict deadline to get your outstanding documents handed in. Update your resume. Ensure your resume is up to date with the correct contact details for yourself and and provide 2 Australian referees. Your resume should outline any work experience, relevant qualifications, duties, and achievements in previous roles. Our graduate development program does not require prior work experience, but more information assists with an agency panel selection. So prepare your referees. So ensure you have advised them that you are submitting an application so they are ready to respond to any referee checks. Strong referees can be the difference between being successful or not. Your referees must be within Australia and contactable. Make sure all information you supply with your application is correct. So read the questions carefully before providing a response. And on your application form, make sure you have checked all the boxes and text fields are completed. So be professional. Make sure all your communication is kept professional and you conduct yourself well. It is a good idea to have a professional voicemail, message, and email address. This makes a difference when a panel is trying to contact you. Answer your phone and return calls. So Northern Territory government numbers will appear as private callers on your mobile phone. So check your messages, check your emails for junk mail during the recruitment process. So sometimes our communication can be directed there. If you miss a call, ensure you are returning a phone call promptly. It is important for panels to have a response in a timely manner. And we know sometimes these dates may clash with your exam dates, but just make sure that you are checking everything if you've applied for the graduate program and being responsive. Oh, and we've done that. So did we talk about the timelines? Okay, let's go back and talk about our timelines. For some reason it was skipped. Okay, let's talk about our timelines. So the program opens for applications on the 2nd of February to the 15th of March. So applications are open right now, but they are closing soon. So who here has applied already? Yes? Okay, you might want to go back and double check your applications to make sure you've got everything in there. Who here is looking at applying? Okay. So this is going to be a very tight turnaround if any information is missing, okay? So make sure that you're submitting all the information as required. So then there's no like the process is efficient as we move forward. The early careers, we undertake the eligibility screening between the 16th of March to the 10th of April. So the 16th of March, that's when we will be in contact with you if you're missing any information. Okay, so that's very important for you to make sure you're checking your junk mails, checking your phone messages. Sometimes it's really good to answer those NTG private numbers during that period. You might think it's somebody else, but it's actually us trying to call you. NT agencies, NT government agencies, they undertake the recruitment between the 13th of April to the 22nd of May. So this is another important crucial time. If you've been shortlisted, you will be in contact for an interview. Okay, so if you are not going to be responsive on your phone or emails, there's over 500 more applicants for our panels to look at. Okay, so just keep that in mind and just be responsive. Employment offers and contracts are made in June. Okay, so when the employment offers are made, sometimes some people might receive more than one offer. But the sooner you if you end up being offered a position, make sure you lock the offer in. Otherwise, you might miss out on others may miss out on opportunities as well. Let's look at the program commencing. It starts in January. This year, it started around the 12th of January. So it could start in the 2nd or 3rd week of January each year. So if you're on a visa, you might want to look at that. And we understand that it can be a very time-consuming thing right at the end when, if you become a successful applicant, you might want to sort out your visa for that period. Because it's very hard for us to generate a contract if you don't have a valid visa. and if you are successful in the program. Okay, that pretty much wraps it up. Do you have any questions at the moment? Yes. You're going to Treasury in November. Oh, you're going to graduate in November. Yes, if you are graduating this year, make sure you apply for the next year's program because it's in 3 years of completing your degree. So submit your application. Yes. Good question. So the question was sometimes some people get offered a contract in June and then the program starts in January. So what happens between that time? Nothing really happens. So what could happen though for some agencies? They do negotiate for someone to start in a different role prior to commencing the graduate program. So that's something that you could discuss at the interview phase, you know, to say, okay, you're available part-time or full-time, and you never know, you might have an employment opportunity with that agency if you become a successful applicant. Yes. Sorry, what was that? Are you an Australian? Did you enroll in an Australian degree?
Yeah,
And it's a recognised qualification in Australia.
yeah,
When did you complete that?
in NSW, New South Wales,
In Queensland, but what year?
like last year.
You got 3 years. So yes, you can apply. If you completed your qualification last year at an Australian university, you can apply for the graduate development program within 3 years.
Like there will be like some priority if like I'm anti graduates and it's NSW graduate, there will be some priority or not.
No priority. Everyone is treated equally. If you apply, the best candidate wins. Over 500 applicants. So make sure you're a standout applicant.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Are there part-time opportunities as well?
There are part-time opportunities. We did do a information session here on the orientation day. We did talk about the vacation employment program. That could be something that you could apply for, but those applications have closed for the mid-year program and end of year program. What year do you complete your qualification?
I completed my qualification in 2025. This one that I'm currently doing is
You just
2027.
need to have a look on the NT government website to have a look at any part-time opportunities like anybody else.
Right.
Sorry, just to add to that, if you apply as a graduate, there is an opportunity to negotiate a flexible work arrangement where you can go into part-time hours, but you go on a lower level wage. So you might take 0.8 of a salary instead of a full 100%, if that makes sense.
Did you have a question? Same question? Yeah.
If someone apply for interest in modern one fields, show interest in business or show interest in health or community service, just a way to maximize the chance.
Yeah, so the question was, can a person apply for more than one interest? So just say you might have more than one qualification, or you can. The answer is yes. So we ask for 3 preferences, and in the application process, you will put down your preferences of what field you would like to go to. But generally, we do look at the qualification and we do the matching and pairing to grow that and invest in that.
I have two questions. The first one, let's say you are shortlisted to some specific departments, let's say education or business, then would you be contacting the referee before or after the interview? And the second one would be how important is the referee, and who would be the reliable referee? Do you prioritize the one that is working in some professional, like working in the government, or let's say if I work in a coffee shop, can I just get a referee from the owner, or let's say if he knows me that well?
Okay, so you may not have enough work experience across the Northern Territory or in Darwin or in Australia. So it can be risky providing referees, but however, we understand in the early career space that a lot of our applicants are new. So that's why we are early careers pathway into government. So when we talk about that, we say, okay, you might use your lecturer as a referee in your instance, okay? If you have a person at a coffee shop and you've worked part-time there, they're a really good referee. So if you've got any type of work experience out there, it doesn't matter what type of job it is, if you've been attending the workplace, you're showing that you're turning up on time, all these questions will be asked by your referee, by the panel, and then the referee will have to respond to those questions. So if you've got a good character there, you should be fine. So it's not having the best of the best of the best in the Northern Territory or in Australia to be your referee, as long as you've got that good reference with them.
So one of my referee is from New South Wales, Sydney. So is that okay?
Yes, any Australian contactable referee is fine. Okay, we do stress that it could be from an Australian organisation or corporation that referee. It's only because people have provided us referees that are overseas. Okay, so and that's hard for us, you know, to actually. We come under a big umbrella for recruitment, OCPE, so Office of Commissioner of Public Employment, and our requirement is to check 2 referees. Okay, so you'll have an interview first, and then the referee check will be done after that. Okay, but making sure that on your application you're including all those details.
In case I have a referee who I worked with and they know me pretty well, but they changed roles, so they're not in the same position where we work together anymore, can I still use them as my referee?
If you've used them in, if they have been your supervisor in the past 12 months, I would say that's fine. If not, and it's a little bit longer, well then just think about it. That's all.
They just switched on January this year.
Yeah,
then
should be fine.
Okay.
So as a student or recent graduate, we don't have much time. Like the experience we can gain here is very limited. So how that thing is going to affect on our application for the NTG program?
Don't stress out about that. Okay? Every applicant needs to showcase themselves. Okay? So how much you put inside your application, your cover letter, your resume. You could bring information if you've been overseas and you've worked there, pop that in your resume. You know, that gives our panels much more information about you, where your skill sets, where your interests are, to be able to align something for you. Yeah.
So what if my preferred referee has been, he has quit the job and have moved to the other states? So can I still pick him
as long as they're in Australia and
okay.
they've got Australian contact number, you'll be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I've done the vacation program before, and I really love working with the team. So is there any chance to stay with the team when I did the graduate program? Because I know there's a rotation every 3 months or 6 months, but is it possible to stay with one team throughout the program?
Okay, very good question. So here we've got someone that's done the vacation employment program and looking for a career pathway into NT government through the graduate development program. Okay, now he's got an NT government referee, doesn't he? So how good is that? So that's going to be a very good thing that you've done. So what agency did you do this with? My agency. Okay. What's your name? What's your name? Gilbert. Okay. I'll write your name down because we need to connect the dots together. If you've applied already, we'll just let people know because that's what we're trying to do, invest in people to bring them through. But there's no guarantee. You're just like everybody else. Okay? Now, the question is to stay in one team. Some agencies do this, but I know because I look after DCDD, they don't do it. Okay? You could stay, it's possible, could be in the one division where there's many, many teams, but definitely not in the same team at this stage. Maybe in the future, I don't know.
I will be in student visa probably for next 2 years, and I don't know my availability with school hours and work restrictions. Can contract be still made under that restrictions?
Yeah, so on a student visa, as you're aware, if you're studying at the time, you're not allowed to work a certain amount of hours a week. Okay, so you've got to have the right visa for the graduate program because the graduate program is a full-time position. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, it's Imran. Thank you for arranging a nice, informative career details program. So my question is, in the website I see in the early career, the graduate program, there is two band. One is administrative corporate service and another is professional. So can you tell me details about this thing? So for my understanding, one for the fresher and another for the experienced people, something like this. And another thing, the trail question is, do you have any estimated this time how many people they will be recruit or what is their plan to recruit this time?
Just that last question, what's the recruitment plan? So all of those disciplines that we've already showcased today, that's what we're getting interest for. So if you've come underneath any of those umbrellas and we've identified those positions, make sure you apply. Your other question now around there's professional stream and administrative stream in the graduate program. Professional stream, this is just from my experience. I've only seen it at Power and Water where they've got technical roles. Okay. So generally you'll be offered, just say blanketly, a administrative stream, as we may not have Power and Water on board for the next intake.
Just to add to that, it comes down to the position that you've been recruited to. So some positions will be in the professional, some will be in the administrative. It all comes down to what your enterprise agreement says. That covers the position. So really, there's different pay scales, and it depends what sort of role you're working in. So that will be provided. That information gets provided to you with the contract.
Thank you. If someone who is applying is on a bridging visa, will that affect their application or not?
Tell me, what does a bridging visa mean? Yes. So people on a bridging visa generally, yes, apply. because the bridging visa is basically an open visa at the moment until you get your updated visa. We'll just do one more question. Thank you, those that are leaving. See ya.
Sorry, I don't mean to take much of your time, but I just have a couple of questions with me. So I just wanted to ask, how different is the interview? Is it different from any other normal interview that we do for a job? Are there any pointers you could provide us with?
Okay. What does an interview look like? So, because you apply in a big pool, you might be picked up by 3 or more different agencies, just say hypothetically. Okay. So each agency will have their own interview style. So keep that in mind. It might not be the same that you're having over here to over here. But generally, an interview that I've seen is like they may have a scribe in the room. So that's somebody that takes the notes. So they may interview like about 20 people for about 10 jobs or maybe 5 jobs in their agency. And whatever happens there from the scribe, all those notes will get taken. That's just the interview process.
So my degree, it entails a lot of aspects that was already written there. It does not specialize in anything, but since it's just a bachelor's, it's more generic, but it touches technology, using technology in business. So when applying, do we have to select to certain aspects, or do we just apply and we get picked up by different departments?
Like I mentioned before, there's preferences in there. So just pop in your preferences of which area you'd like to work for. I think about 3. 3, yeah. Last.
Earlier that we don't need any prior work experience. So is it just the skills and what we've learned throughout our studying and any other jobs that we've done that stands out in a resume? I just wanted to.
It's your application first that's going to stand out. So make sure you get that right. So if just say if someone gave you an application, a resume, the cover page, make sure that you can read it. Listen to the instructions with the cover page. The instructions for an NT government cover page is 1 page. Okay. And they don't want to see tiny, tiny writing on the 1 page. Okay. So make sure you just follow the instructions. If you're not following those instructions first, then it becomes a challenge for them to say, okay, they've passed the first test. Okay, good question. We had this question last year about AI, and that's the last one I'm going to take today. So AI, people here might think that NT government uses AI for our referee checks, okay, or the resume writing. But when we do the compliance check for all these applications, that's just compliance check. We do them as humans. We check them through. The next step, if you ever get your applications read by the panel chairs, and if you're using AI and just say they received 30 people with exactly the same application, the same cover letter, the same resume, you think about that human behind there. These guys here aren't human, okay? Or they just copied each other. All right, so make sure you do a standout application. Now, the next step too, just say if you end up getting interviewed, if you might end up doing a face-to-face interview. You might end up doing an online Teams interview. Just be mindful that if you do an online team interview, if you're going to use AI to respond to those answers, some people may not be able to progress to the next stage, okay? So you ask permission if you're going to do that. Humans. And that's all that we'll take today. If you want any other questions, come and see me before I head off.
Yeah, we're going to hang around for the next 10, 15. If you have any questions, come find us. If you're all good and ready to go, there's some pizza outside there for you guys to grab some pizza if you'd like. So we'll be hanging around over the table over here if you have any questions.